An opposition vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister defeated in Parliament. Visually impaired student Loic Charles graduates from college with an associate's degree in information technology. And the PS in health defense nurses amid rising criticism of poor customer service. I am Idona John Baptist with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. First up, a motion of no confidence in the Roosevelt-Skerrit-led administration, tabled in Parliament Wednesday, was defeated with 14 noes and 1 abstention. Andrea Dhui has that story.
Wednesday's sitting of the House of Assembly saw the much-talked-about vote of no confidence against the Prime Minister taking the lead in the day's proceedings. The vote of no confidence in the leadership of Prime Minister Roosevelt-Skerrit was brought before the House by opposition leader Lennox Linton, who claimed that the Prime Minister had mismanaged the country's economy.
Whereas the Honourable Prime Minister has mismanaged the economy of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as evidenced by rising unemployment, sharp declines in the performance of the agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, construction and service sectors, an increase in the trade deficit and a massive national debt, be it resolved that this Honourable House expresses its lack of confidence in the leadership of the Prime Minister, Honourable Roosevelt-Skerrit.
Linton's presentation was interrupted by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, who pointed out that he was imputing improper motive.
I just need to let you know that when you impute improper motive, it is wrong and it's against the rules of the House.
You're part of the debate now, Madam Speaker?
I am, excuse me?
I just asked whether you were part of the debate.
I find your question very rude.
Oh, yes?
But
I find your intervention very
I am telling
you,
you will listen to me because this is what I'm here for. Okay? I am telling you, you have imputed improper motive. You are to cease and desist.
Linton, who then used inappropriate language in the House, was asked to apologize for showing disregard to the authority of the Speaker before continuing his motion. The opposition leader refused to do so and left the room without completing his motion. Others on the opposition side were asked to finish the motion on behalf of Linton, but no one did. When the full length of time allotted for the presentation of this motion had passed, it was then put to the House for a vote. The result was 14 noes and 1 abstention. Apart from Joshua Francis's abstention, no one on the opposition side voiced yea or nay for the motion of no confidence against the Prime Minister. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Wednesday's sitting of the House of Assembly also sought to raise support for the Supplementary Appropriation Bill for the financial year July 2015 to June 2016.
The Supplementary Appropriation Bill totals $103,886,083.25. The money was spent primarily on post-Erica recovery efforts, and the Ministry of Public Works got the largest chunk, approximately $65 million.
Madam Speaker, like I've always said, there are numerous times within the budgetary year when expenses not catered for have to be made. And I think there's no better example of that than last year when Tropical Storm Erica struck. And there were expenses that certainly had to be made. And thank God, Madam Speaker, we have the kind of management at the helm of this country that makes the expenses that are to be made possible, because we have the resources. Either we have them, Madam Speaker, or we have the friends who are always really ready, willing and able to come to our assistance in time of need. And like the Prime Minister said, I too want to lend my voice, not only to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, but to all of the regional and international partners who have come to our assistance in time of need.
However, a member of the opposition, Ezekiel Basil, believes that this discussion on the Supplementary Appropriation Bill should have been held at an earlier time.
Okay, Madam Speaker, I don't know if it is prudent and right that after having spent monies for 1 year, that this government is only now coming to this House to seek approval I mean, is it disrespect for the Parliament? Is it disrespect for the rule of law? Since it is required, Madam Speaker, that you should seek approval for supplementary appropriation as soon as possible. In my own mind, 1 year after is not coming across to me to be soon.
The sitting of Parliament will also discuss amendments to several acts, most notably the Sexual Offences Act and the Bail Act. Kenny Williams, Channel 5 News.
An historic achievement at the Dominica State College graduation ceremony as a visually impaired student received a degree for the first time. Loic Charles successfully completed 2 years of studies at the DSC to attain an associate's degree in information technology. He was among 360 graduates of the DSC's 14th commencement ceremony on Wednesday. 37 students graduated with honors, and Dominica's songbird Michael Henderson is one of them. She now has an associate's degree in paralegal studies. Actually, she and her daughter Runel Del Sol both graduated with honors. Runel was awarded the Clare Harbors Award for Academic Leadership, Excellence, and Discipline. The country's 2016 Island Scholar Al Parillo is the valedictorian of this year's DSC graduating class. Parillo graduated with honors.
Over these past few years, this graduating class faced a myriad of challenges, which proved to be, at most times, testing. We saw those who couldn't cope and seemingly vanished, and we observed others who squandered the opportunity afforded to them. Fortunately, we did not give up on this challenge of higher education. The entire process had even been assisted by many of our dedicated lecturers and staff throughout our time here.
Meantime, Kendra Jajak obtained the Faculty of Applied Arts and Technology Award. Al Parillo received the Faculty of Arts and Sciences Award. Edith Mesme, Faculty of Education Award. Venetia Burnett, Faculty of Health Sciences Award. Sports Personality of the Year is Romelcia Phillip. She was absent. The Club of the Year is Vibes Are Us. President of the college, Dr. Donald Peters, told the students they represent just about 14% of Dominicans living on island with a college education.
I know every Dominican would like to be a lawyer or doctor, and that is okay. But there are at least 1,083 more professions in the world. Dominica has no supply chain management professionals, no water resource engineers, no hospital administrators, a few physical therapists, no athletic trainers, few child psychologists, phlebotomists, landscape designers, plant science, private investigators. These are so many opportunities to make a decent living in Dominica and the Caribbean. Those opportunities are always there. So think outside the proverbial box before you make a decision. And let us build a society where you, as an individual, can contribute towards it.
The keynote speaker was Dr. Kira Paul, Director of the Bureau of Gender Affairs.
I urge you to dispel the notion that circumstances make you who you are. Adopt the philosophy that you largely define your circumstances. You play an important role to create your own world, and you shape your own actions. More than tolerance, embrace diversity. Life can be so much more gratifying in the absence of inequalities and discrimination. Discrimination affects our attitudes and ultimately how we arrive at solutions. When our communities become safer, society thrives academically, economically, and socially.
5 primary schools and 1 secondary school will soon reap the benefits of a donation valued at 35,000 EC dollars. The Dominica Health and Education Initiative made a presentation of 23 refurbished computers to the Ministry of Education this week.
We went for the Ministry of Education, so we had to look at the schools who were probably in need and those who had the computers room and they were not quite ready for use because they did not have any computers. So we looked at that, and then schools were, we picked out the different schools that we figured that we need to work with at this time.
This is the second donation of the Dominica Health and Education Initiative to the education sector.
We are going to continue to give to the schools on the island, and we are hoping that people will go to our website and see what we are offering, and they can also put in their proposal as to what it is that they need, and we in turn will find a way to help them, to assist them in whatever way that we can. So to learn more about the organization and support our cause, we invite you to visit our website at www.dahei, this is DAHEI.org, and you can submit the online proposal on our website to be reviewed by our board.
The Assistant Chief Education Officer says the donation is made at the ideal time as the world is becoming more technologically savvy and teachers are tasked with training students on the responsible use of computers.
We recognize that the infusion of technology within the school system is quite critical if we want students to develop into the type of citizens that we want in the modern era. We need to ensure that they are versed in computer literacy, and we use computer not just as a device for entertainment, but as a device for education. We have to be vigilant, and we have to teach our students that they need to use technology responsibly. A couple of years ago, we had extensive workshop on the ICDL, the International Computer Driver's License, that we trained a number of our teachers and principals on the use. We have continuous, sustained workshops for teachers in the use of ICT at a national level and at school-based level, across the level, and even within the schools, there is sensitization and training for our teachers in that area.
The 4 laptops and 19 desktops will be distributed among the Roseau, Bagatelle, St. Luke's, Thetmorne, and Grant Bay Primary Schools and the Convent High School. You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, more news and sports, plus Creole in the Street and Flashback. Stay with us. Welcome back. One woman is nursing stab wounds after being attacked by another woman at Lubia. They have both been hospitalized following the incident on Tuesday. Social media lit up on Tuesday night with a picture circulating of a woman lying in a pool of blood. Information at this time is sketchy, and there is no official police report yet. Channel 5 News has no confirmation yet of any arrest. On the health scene, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health has come to the defense of the nursing community in light of rising criticism against them. Here's Andrea Louis with more.
Helen Royer was speaking at the coaching and mentoring training workshop for nurses on Tuesday. The PS says despite public opinion on the quality of customer service delivered by nurses, there are still commendable nurses within the service, and all should work together to change the public's opinion.
At every forum I am given to speak about nursing, I like to refer to the very negative reports of care that is received from nurses both at the hospital and districts. While in many instances the public may be correct, I also want to highlight that we have also several remarkable, hard-working, professional and dedicated nurses who are models and need to be commended for the professionalism displayed and who go an extra mile to make sure the task is done.
While defending the nursing community, Roy admonished supervisors to be more strict in their assessment of nurses.
And we have to be honest. You have to pick up their strengths, talk to them about their strengths, encourage them, commend them, but you must, as a mentor, be able to pull out somebody with their weaknesses. I think you are too busy in getting the skills. That's what kills our staff. They're more on filling a skills checklist. I don't know if that still happens. So they will be nice with a sister, don't do the work, do not learn to follow the process, but because they're so nice with you, just sign, checked. I mean, this is an indictment on the nursing service because you are signing off to kill people.
The former health practitioner believes greater emphasis needs to be placed on the behavioral component of the evaluation form.
As I always said, one of the main things in the public service that should be reflected in an EADR is your behavior, but it's the lowest rated, 20%. So you find we have a problem as supervisors. You cannot say the person did not get exceed expectation because they're not coming to work early, because they have poor customer service, because that is just 20%. So people like Mrs. Rowe and Ms. Carr I have been saying that at forums for PSCs. I think we need to review the ADR and put a heavier weight on the behavior. I think we will see more change.
The two-day coaching and mentoring training workshop for nurses ended on Wednesday. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
In other news, a CARIFORUM EU Economic Partnership Agreement consultant is meeting with different stakeholders as it relates to communication within their businesses and with the government of Dominica. Dyke Rostand says in order to implement specific measures, he needs to get a glimpse of stakeholders' concerns here.
Things need to be put in place for that agreement to actually be ratified. So there are some things that are happening there on the ground, but throughout the region, there are things that need to be put in place in terms of legislation, some actual physical entities such as Bureau of Standards in some places. So they need to happen for the ratification for it to be fully enforced.
He said one cannot give an input and ratify the agreement without meeting with various stakeholders.
If I don't have the input of the people on the ground to say, okay, well, this is the best way to reach me. This is how we found success doing this. These are some of the challenges that we face. It makes no sense. So because there's no silver bullet, there's no magical formula, there's no one way to reach everybody. So in terms of trying to get a best practice and make sure that what we're doing is not just having a talk shop, we need to actually be on the ground and speaking to some of these people. So that's what I'm doing this week in the Nature Eye.
In tonight's Chit Chat segment, I'm joined by Carrie Charles Thomas, who's here to tell us once again about Creole in the Streets. Of course, that's one day away. And Mrs. Charles, when you were here the last time, we spoke about the local produce and services that Creole in the Streets offers. But apart from that, what else can we expect?
Okay, thank you for having me, Donna. We can expect a package of activities throughout the day. The event will be staged tomorrow, which is October 20th, Thursday, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to be having a 2-on-2 domino competition. We are asking interested participants to register. It is only $20 fee. We have lots of prizes to be won, sponsored by Caribbean. At least the winners will get 2 cases of Caribbeans. We're going to have a quiz that you'll be asked questions about the NDFD. I'm asking you to do your research and come prepared to answer the questions. Come prepared to win a lot of prizes, sponsored by the Bigger, Better Network, Digicel. We have free handsets. We have free credits to give away. We have other various presentations from the various cultural groups around Dominica. And finally, it will be closed by Midnight Groovers. The band will bring down the curtains for us for at least 2 hours of jamming. So we ask you to come, prepare to spend the day with us at Creole in the Streets, and we will see you there tomorrow.
Well, you heard it, Cadus Legends, prizes, giveaways, local produce and services at Creole in the Streets this Thursday. Sports is next with Kenny Williams.
First up in sports, 4 records were broken on the final day of the primary school's independence meet on Wednesday. Records were reset in the senior boys high jump, junior girls long jump, senior boys 300 meters, and the senior boys 1,200 meters. In the boys category, the North District placed first with 77 points, followed by the West Central with 65 and the Northeast 59. For the girls, North finished on top with 112, West Central next with 70, and Southeast 54. In cricket, West Indies A trails by 135 runs after day 2 of their unofficial test against Sri Lanka A on Wednesday. Sri Lanka batted first, scoring 318 all out. Sandon Wirakodi added 79 and Kusal Perera 69. Delron Johnson and Rakeem Cornwall went through the Sri Lankan batting lineup, taking 4 for 65 and 3 for 93 respectively. In reply, the Windies scored 183 for 4 in 45 overs. Shimron Hetmyer had the hot hand for West Indies, scoring 94. Shamar Brooks supported with 43. Next up, Sensational Robin made history for Dominica by being the first to cup 2 silvers and 1 bronze medal at the 11th annual Shaolin Wushu Martial Arts Festival in China on Wednesday. Robin is now an official member of the Chinese Association of Kung Fu.
I obtained silver on the first day of competition in Shaolin Fist. And on the second day of competition, I did my first level examination of Shaolin Dohan test. And now I am officially a member of the Chinese Association of Kung Fu. And, I got my ID today, making me an official member of the association. And also, I got silver in Shaolin Spear, first time doing Shaolin Spear, and got silver. And I also got bronze medal in Shaolin Stick.
He says it was a proud moment for him representing Dominica at that level.
So Dominica flag is being flown high, and I'm proud to represent me, my country, Universal Martial Arts Academy and Robin Rio, and to take the martial arts of Dominica to the next level.
Back with more cricket. West Indies women went down to England women by 5 wickets with 67 balls remaining in the 5th ODI on Wednesday. The Windies took first knock and scored 155 all out. Stephanie Taylor top scored with 57. Alex Hurtley picked up 4 for 24 and Catherine Brunt 3 for 35. Set 156 to win, England made 158 for 5 in 38.5 overs. Natalie Shriver added 59 not out and Tammy Beaumont 34. England won the 5-match series 3-2. In football, St. Mary's Academy handed Isaiah Thomas Secondary a 5-0 pounding in an under-15 match in the 2016 Sports Division Secondary Schools Football Championship on Tuesday. Majid Peltier scored 2 with single goals coming from Odell Laville, Terrell Tousse and Ethan Nicholas. Also in the under-15, St. John's Academy beat Northeast Comprehensive 8 goals to 4. And in an under-20 encounter, Isaiah Thomas Secondary edged out Dominica State College 3 goals to 2. Ashwin Hill, Aaron Francis and Ali Marie scored for ITSS. Lake Charles and Aaron Wilshire netted for DSC. The competition continues on Friday. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Be sure to join us tomorrow.
Flashback is next.
Flashback, a look at events of the past in Dominica. Watch every Wednesday during Mapping's Channel 5 News.
Hello and welcome to Flashback. Today we take you back to one of the darkest periods in Caribbean political history. Let's go back to the 19th of October 1983, when Grenada's former Prime Minister Maurice Bishop and his cabinet colleagues were lined up against a wall at Fort Rupert in Grenada and shot to death. 17 members of the revolutionary government were subsequently jailed for their alleged involvement in the murders. A number of civilians were also murdered that day when the military turned the guns on the people. A few days after the coup, the U.S. invaded Grenada after Dame Eugenia Charles, the chair of the OECS at the time, turned to Washington for help. Here is a clip from a CBU program which aired in 1998 featuring Dame Eugenia Charles and Dr. Terence Marichaud, political leader of the now-defunct Maurice Bishop Patriotic Movement.
While we understand why Grenadians welcomed the quote-unquote invasion of the country, we look at the broader picture and the implications that it has had for Grenada in the last 15 years. Because we know that when the Americans came in, they never came in with any altruistic motives to help Grenada or to help Grenada's neighbors. Far from that. They were bent on the destruction of the Grenada Revolution at all costs.
I don't know what made the United States agree to come and help us. That may have been one of the reasons why they wanted to come and help us. But certainly, if we had not asked them, they would not have been there. Because it took a lot of persuading to make them come. That was why I had to go up to Washington to talk about it.
There's been debate over the last 30 years as to whether or not the U.S. should have invaded Grenada, and we imagine this sort of discussion will continue. But Dame Eugenia was convinced at the time that what was done in the best interest of the stability of the region. This has been Flashback. Thanks for joining us.
Stay tuned for the CBU's 1998 interview with Dame Eugenia and Terence Mary show right after the news. Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Carreto Joseph. A weak high-pressure system was the dominant feature across the Antilles today, resulting in generally partly cloudy to cloudy skies throughout. Visible satellite imagery shows mainly high-level clouds over Dominica throughout the course of the day. Radar image indicated some widely scattered showers over the islands. Conditions for tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorm activity. Tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers. Sea conditions, moderate northerly swells can be expected with waves up to 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers, you are advised to continue to exercise caution. Taking a look at the next 3 days, fair to partly cloudy skies with some showers can be expected into the weekend. Across the region tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy skies with some showers can be expected over the northern and central portions of the island chain, while mostly cloudy skies with some showers can be expected over the extreme southern portion. On the international scene, some rain expected in New York, partly cloudy skies in Miami, some cloudy skies also in London, some thunderstorm activity expected in Caracas, and some rain again in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:58 a.m. and set at 5:42 p.m. For up-to-date information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. An opposition vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister defeated in Parliament. Visually impaired student Loic Charles graduates from college with an associate's degree in information technology. And the PS in health defends nurses amid rising criticism of poor customer service. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Idona John Baptist, and to all our viewers around the world, thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow.